Okay, we have a bit of a treat this morning. We get to meet a real-life rocket scientist. Olympia LePointe helped launch 28 space shuttle missions while she worked with NASA. She's an author. She's also a TED talker, and she has a new book called Answers Unleashed 2: The Science of Attracting What You Want. I'm fascinated in the story of her, though. Olympia joins me now. Hello, Olympia. How are you today?
Oh, I am well, Michaela. How are you? I am so happy to be on your show.
Oh, I'm really thrilled to be able to talk to you because, you know, South LA girl goes on to working at NASA, TED Talk stage, author. I mean, it's really an incredible thing. And I think taking people back to the voyage that you took to get to where you are is so instructive, right? People that look like us. We always need to find ways to connect people to inspiration. You were a little girl who I understand was first exposed to science and outer space at what, maybe 6 years old?
6 years old, you have it absolutely on the money. 6 years old, I went to the Jet Propulsion Laboratory in Pasadena, California, and there I saw the beautiful jet engines, and I saw the mission control room, and I saw the picture of the men launching rockets on the wall, and I told myself I wanted to be just like those men. And I didn't understand the type of challenges I was going to face as a woman of color, as well as a person who had to overcome her own fears in order
Yeah.
to move through all the different areas of my own personal journey. And so I'm happy today to write my book, Answers Unleashed 2, to share how to make decisions because our decisions count.
Well, I want to take you
Yeah.
back to that pivotal moment of getting to visit JPL, right? And you think about the countless number of kids who get to go through there on field trips or their family takes them. And they know, that's why they make it available. They know they're planting seeds in future scientists, future astronauts, future engineers. But for you, it was a big turn because you were a little girl that was, like me, you were struggling with math. Math wasn't
Oh,
something that
yeah.
came easily to you.
Oh, yeah. As I say in my TED Talk, I failed algebra, I failed calculus, I failed chemistry, I failed geometry, and I had to take the classes over. And in the process of doing that, a gigantic epiphany came. I was sitting with the teacher that was volunteering his time to help the students, and no one showed up. I was the only one that took the bus 2 hours each way just to sit with him for an hour. And during that time, the epiphany moment came that would change the rest of my life.
Mm.
And that epiphany moment was I realized that the only person stopping me was myself.
Mm-hmm.
And it was because of fear. And through if I could create a way to break down and remove the fear in my life, the fear from the past, the fear from the present, and the fear from the future, I could create a life for myself that I wanted. And
Mm.
it was that pivotal moment of that decision, like that aha moment where I have to I have to go forward with what it is that I've always wanted to do for myself because I owed it to myself.
That, and
And
see,
so,
that's the
yeah.
key. You owe it to yourself. You owe it to the generations that came before you too, right? To give you the opportunities that you have, that we have as well. Now, fast forward a little bit. 21 years old, gets her dream job at Boeing. And for a long time, you found yourself as the only woman in the room, the only woman among a sea of male engineers. How did you not lose yourself in that?
Oh, it was tough. It was tough. And women in the workplace typically have to work twice as hard, just honestly.
Sure.
Women in the workplace usually have to work twice as hard for the same recognition. And it was challenging in my situation because I was coming in there. I was 21 years old, very young at the time, and a woman of color. And I was coming into situations where I had to understand how people thought, understand how they thought, understand how I thought, and realize that we each have a diversity in thinking that is valuable in the workplace.
Absolutely.
And when I saw that, and when I saw what I could bring and what they could show, it was this synergy.
Mm-hmm.
And I really value that moment because as I got a chance to understand the brilliance of how each of us thinks differently, that's when we
That's the
unleash
strength.
innovation.
That's the
Yeah,
strength right
yeah.
there. And now you do a lot to empower young people. And I know for you, you want to reach out to young people that were just like you, young women of color, young people of color, to give them a chance to walk in your footsteps, but also to sort of see the potential that is in front of them.
Yes, yes, our decisions count. Our thinking counts. The way that you process life, your experiences count. And when we as a whole understand that we each bring a magnificent way of thinking to solving problems collectively as a nation, as well as a global massive group of problem solvers, when we understand that each one of us contributes to a solution, that's when we find value and we walk our life path. And I'm really excited to help people do that through my keynote talks and my virtual talks that I do with the organizations, as well as my TV hosting and my books. So I'm really happy.
Well, we want to
about
show you to her book. It's called Answers Unleashed 2, The Science of Attracting What You Want. It was really a delight to chat with you today, Olympia. Again, there's so much that we can learn from other people's stories. I think there's such power in sharing our stories, and I'm glad you've shared yours with us. Thanks for being here.
Thank you. It's my honor. Thank you.
The honor was mine. Still to come.